We are rounding up. There is a system to be a recipient of God's mercy. Number one, a broken and a contrite heart. Write it down. Arrogant people are never qualified to be the benefactors of God's mercy. For as long as you think by yourself and in your strength you are qualified and deserving, you will never have it. Great is your mercy towards me, your loving kindness towards me, your tender mercy I see day after day. Forever faithful towards me, you're always providing for me. Great is your mercy towards me. Great is your apply the blood, we invoke his mercy. For you to sit down and believe your forefathers did not do anything, you are a joker. But the mercy of God has a way of exempting you. The mercy of God has a way of exempting you from the rubbish and the nonsense that should be your lot. The mercy of God can change any negative prophecy over any man's life, regardless of what was seen about you. A particular prophet now came and met David, correct? And then started to speak to him in parables. There was a certain man who had a vineyard, and somebody came and grabbed the vineyard, and David said, "Who is that?" Was angry. Say, "You are the one." No. Watch this. Do you know David was supposed to die? We have a series on mercy that we'll deal with. I don't want to go there. But do you know, when you read that scripture, when David asked for mercy, God said that death had been taken from him. David would have died. David would have died. The wages of sin is not sickness. The wages of sin is death. But mercy, but mercy, but mercy. There are some of you here, legally you are supposed to be failures in life. So based on that concoction, those who knew you had the guts to even prophesy it, and what they were saying is right. But mercy, when you introduce mercy to the equation, calculation changes. Everything changes. So a murderer like Moses could now become a deliverer by the mercy and the grace of God. He said, "It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed." Let me tell you, one of the greatest ways to break curses, hear me, one of the greatest ways to end curses is to invoke the mercy of God. The mercy of God. The mercy of God over your life. Invoke the mercy of God over the works of your hands. The moment, even as human beings, if somebody tells you sorry, if I look at you now, come Emeka, I look at you and I say, "Look, you know you did this and I'm supposed to deal with you," and all of a sudden you kneel down and say, "Sir, I am sorry," do you not know that this position paralyzes me at once? I look at you and say, "I hate you, but you have done something now that on a very good day, what I plan to do for you, I would have dealt with you, I would have humiliated you, I would have made sure your career were miserable." But mercy. And the terrible thing thing about, or the, well, not terribly righteousness about mercy, is that every time mercy is invoked, it not only solves the current problem, it promotes you. Mercy will always lift. Mercy will always lift. It will not just take away the current predicament, but it will lift you and take you higher. Higher. By the mercy and the grace of God. By the mercy and by the grace of God. So it says, thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Joshua Selman, upon koinonia, for the time. The time. The Lord wants to lift me, but there are certain levels of light and illumination I do not yet know. And if I'm to wait until I know all those things, I may never rise. So he introduces his mercy, and I rise to realms that even me, I know that is beyond my level of understanding. The mercy.